Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the chest expander. This is a very cool piece of old school bodybuilding equipment which you almost never see people using anymore. Let's check out the history of the chest expander and let's see if it still has a place in a 21st century workout routine. The very first mentions of chest expanders I could find date all the way back to the early 1840s. However, in this case, we're not actually talking about exercise equipment. Rather, this was a wearable device meant to correct posture. But it was only a couple years later, towards the end of the 1840s, where we find advertisements for something called a calisthenic chest expander. Here are the first mentions of exercise and muscle building, making this a nearly 180-year-old piece of fitness equipment. For reference, the barbell, nowadays considered to be perhaps the most iconic and basic piece of gym equipment, was only invented around the 1860s, so the chest expander even predates the barbell. These early chest expanders were likely made with elastic bands. They slowly gained popularity in the UK, and by the 1860s, even the British royal family was using them. During the physical culture boom of the late 1800s, the chest expander earned its place worldwide as a must-have piece of equipment for many early bodybuilders. While some were still made using elastic bands, by now it seems the more serious lifters were using chest expanders with an adjustable number of metal springs. The man responsible for bringing chest expanders to the mainstream market was none other than the father of bodybuilding himself, Eugene Sandow. In the early 1900s, he developed and sold his own line of chest expanders with an accompanying workout program. His expanders even had a unique design with a wall attachment and a shoe strap, which allowed the user to do way more exercises, like chest flies, thrusters, and core exercises. In many ways, this early system developed by Sandow over 100 years ago could have served as a precursor for several modern pieces of gym equipment, like cable machines. However, as we can see in Sandow's instructional booklets, some of these exercises would even be difficult to recreate with any readily available equipment today. So the chest expander was actually one of the first pieces of exercise equipment available to buy and use at home by the general public. Compared to traditional dumbbell or barbell sets, the expander was much cheaper and smaller, yet could still be used to train the entire body and even implement progressive overload by changing the number of springs used. It really was a magnificently practical design. You could essentially have an entire home gym which could fit neatly in a drawer, so it was a great way to bring physical culture to the masses. Apart from all the early bodybuilders who incorporated chest expander exercises alongside their weight training routines, there were also some pretty impressive bodybuilders who apparently used the chest expander exclusively for all their training. This is Fred Rollon. He claims to have never lifted any weights and to have done all his training with chest expanders. I suppose we have no way to verify this since it happened so long ago, but if we assume this claim is true, it would be perhaps the greatest example of the power of the chest expander. While I wasn't able to find any pictures including his lower body, it's clear that Rollon managed to develop a very impressive and ripped upper body. The chest expander was an important part of bodybuilding throughout the Bronze Era, but its popularity continued even into the Silver Era, where we see the likes of John Grimek using the chest expander during the early Silver Era and the likes of Reg Park using it during the late Silver Era. Here we see a couple cool photos of Reg using a massive 10-spring chest expander. However, it seems that the chest expander started losing popularity around the Golden Era, when a lot of new advancements in gym equipment were made. Bodybuilders now had access to specialized machines which could individually target basically any muscle on the body, while also offering many more weight increments than the chest expander.
Just testing the machine.
While the dumbbell and barbell stuck around, It seems the chest expander had to make way for the resistance band, which is much cheaper to mass produce as it's literally just one piece of rubber. However, I'm here to tell you that the resistance band is a poor substitute for a quality chest expander. The resistance band not only lacks comfortable handles, it also doesn't offer nearly as smooth of a resistance curve compared to an expander with high quality springs.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going.
I truly believe that to this day, the chest expander shines in one specific environment, the home gym. So let's check out what an expander can do for us in the 21st century. This little piece of equipment can work as an effective replacement for multiple machines, which are simply not accessible to most home gym enjoyers. I've been including chest expander exercises in my routine for several months now, and I must say I'm pleasantly surprised at how effective such a simple device can be. A massive thank you to Robert from shop.handgripper.net for providing these excellent chest expanders you're seeing me use. I would like to give a sincere shout out to Robert's store because he is keeping old school methods alive by being one of the only people around that still produces seriously high quality chest expanders. It's actually quite difficult to find a well-built chest expander these days. There are several options on Amazon, but they are essentially all cheaply built with plastic handles and low quality springs, which might be fine for a complete beginner just trying things out. However, if, like me, you take your training seriously and don't mind spending some money to get top quality equipment, you're not going to find a better built chest expander. This one has an all-metal construction with up to 7 springs, and very importantly, it has rotating handles which are also made of steel and are knurled. As I mentioned before, I think the chest expander really shines in a home gym environment, where we usually don't have the space or budget for a bunch of specialized machines. I'm not saying we need to go full Fred roll-on mode, but the expander does serve as an excellent accessory to dumbbell and barbell training, especially when it comes to the upper back, delts, triceps, and biceps. I find the exercises to be particularly easy on the joints, so accumulating a lot of volume is no problem. As the kids would say, it's very spammable. My favorite movement is this one, which is somewhat similar to a rear delt fly, but I guarantee it hits the upper back in a way you've never felt before. The expander is super portable and requires no setup. So it's also a great option for anyone who travels a lot or just likes to train outside. Alex Leonidas and Golden Era Bookworm have made videos showing a bunch of chest expander exercises. So if you're looking to put a routine together, I recommend you check them out. I'll link them in the description. Thank you for watching, drop a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to head over to my old school bodybuilding playlist for more videos just like this one.